I'm Scott Chasin, and you're watching Beyond Live.
Hey.
You ready to host Beyond Live with me?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Sweet.
Welcome to Beyond.
The MSP cloud business is booming.
And Pax8 Live is taking you along for the ride.
We've got highlights and insights from 3 days of innovation, education, and strategy.
Learn how to grow your MSP business, manage modern day risks, and improve your bottom line.
Pax8 Beyond is a first of its kind event created by and for our community of partners.
More than 1,000 MSPs, a veritable army of vendors, and all the brightest minds in the business from around the globe together under one roof.
Gain new perspectives and insights with our team of experts and special guests.
From the main stage to the show floor, we'll find out what's on everyone's agenda.
Pax8 Beyond Live 2023 starts now.
There's nothing more powerful than a strong community, and what Pax8 has mastered is the ability to create community, and not only that, but to scale the community into the future. That's why it's Beyond.
Hello and welcome to Pax8 Beyond Live. Coming to you from the luxurious Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center, just outside of Denver, Colorado.
Partners and vendors from all over the globe connecting in person to share ideas about the accelerating growth of the IT cloud, keeping cyber safe in the process.
This event is already shaping up to be a true highlight of the MSP calendar, bringing together some of the brightest minds and most innovative companies in the industry. From keynotes to hands-on security labs, breakout discussions, and networking opportunities, this event has it all.
And we're here to make sure that you get a taste of what we're lucky enough to be witnessing.
To a Beyond, we are super excited for today. This is by far one of my favorite days because this is the innovation day. This is where we show you the future. You guys want to see the future? Yeah. Before we do that, why don't we all take a moment and congratulate the new NBA champion, Denver Nuggets. That was fun last night. It wasn't fun trying to get a drink or any food, but it was fun last night. Beyond, all right, let's just dig right in. Social media is on fire, which is amazing. Continue to use that hashtag Pax8 to sign up for Beyond 24 at that $199 price point. And as I mentioned, we're going to continue to make this bigger and better, and we're going to add some what we call VIP seating next year. So if you want to qualify for one of those, first 200 people to sign up for Beyond 24 will get that. $199, again, lowest price point you're going to get.
I am so delighted to be here with you today. I began my tech career in the channel many, many moons ago. And partner's been very much a through line and a passion point for me through my entire career. So when joining Pax8, it felt a little bit like a homecoming to me. And being with all of you here today, it's great to be home. Beyond is built on 2 pillars, community and innovation. You're hearing from many of our vendors this week on their exciting product innovation and how they're tuning their solutions to better serve SMB. And later today, Scott Chasin and Libby McIlhany are going to deliver and share some industry-transforming announcements. New solutions purpose-built for you. And the global Pax8 marketing team, we're also on a mission of innovation as well. We're activating data and ML models to provide tailored recommendation solutions for you to grow your business. We're building assessment tools and resources you can use to educate your customers. And we're ideating on new marketing services that you can employ to deliver value across the customer lifecycle. In this new marketplace mode, we'll market with you and in service of your business. And we're also keen to learn from you so we can design the go-to-market services to catalyze your success. I am truly honored to be a part of this vital and vibrant community.
Welcome everyone to Pax8 Beyond Live. And through the magic of modern television, we have Caroline Goles straight from the main stage sitting right here with us. So to borrow a line from Office Space, Caroline, what would you say you do here?
Well, at Pax8, we say whatever the job is that day. In my spare time, I am honored to be the Chief Marketing Officer at Pax8, and then whatever the partners need us to do, that's our job.
Excellent, excellent. So what an event. It's been a build-up over a few years. So I want to start out with just why Beyond? Like, what does that mean to us as Pax8?
Well, first of all, Beyond, I mean, you have to be here to understand what it's about. So 2024, if you're not here, FOMO. I think Beyond for us was a little bit of a mantra on where we wanted to take partners in our relationship and our business. We had big goals, as we always do, and I think it was just it was something that just resonated with us, which is we want to take this business and our partners and their business beyond what people expect in the industry, what people expect of distributors, what people expect of MSPs, and quite frankly, what people expect in the tech industry. And I think we showed a little bit today of what that might look like.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, when you strolled out on stage, we've been asking most of the main stage speakers, like when you strolled out, this is an inaugural event. Lots of time an inaugural event is had like in a, ballroom at the Holiday Inn Express next to the airport, somewhere. And we are near the airport, but it's a very different facility. So, inaugural event, expectations kind of change over time. You think this isn't going to make, or is it going to be bigger than we can manage? What was your take this morning when you kind of walked out on stage after the cult, great choice, Firewoman, and you walked out and saw everyone standing out there? What went through your mind when you were kind of just taking it all in?
Just gratitude for all the people who showed up. Nick Hetty said, when you go out there, take a moment and look out. And it was quite amazing. I mean, I'm 18 months into Pax8, but to be around people who have taken this vision from an idea to reality, and the partners and vendors who showed up and took a bet on this first inaugural event, gratitude and excitement for what we can all do together. Because I think that speaks to me that we've put the idea of what we can all do together out there, and people said, let's show up and see what they've got. And I think it's an amazing experience. I think we're all figuring that out. Energy's high on what we can achieve together, and so we're just excited.
That's cool.
Excellent. There's a lot of buzz. Partners are really taking advantage of the collaboration. You see them exchanging contact, all of that. So is there any buzz that you're hearing from the partners?
Well, I think Scott and Libby gave everyone a lot of buzz. Libby McIlhany, action figures coming soon to a Pax8 store near you. But just the vision of marketplace and how it connects our vendors, our partners, their customers, and how we're really building this affinity engine to reinvent how people buy software and how people engage with each other. And so I think people are excited about that. I think they're leaning in. They're asking a lot of questions of themselves, each other, us, on what to expect, and we're really excited about that. And I think the magic of these events, I've been to a lot of these events over the years, and it's always that peer-to-peer connection. It's, we rehearse really hard. We work really hard on coming up with keynotes and events and tracks, but it's really the magic of partners getting together and discussing what's possible. I think that's the real magic.
Yeah. One of the things I was brought here to do, is to help build up this cybersecurity partner program, and one element of that is to assist our partners with their marketing. And Pax8 is a marketing machine and all kind of stuff. And lots of times, though, marketing gets kind of cloistered off as this internal service org. And one of the things you said from the main stage today was that you want to help market with and market for, our partners. Just talk a little bit about how we can take our marketing machinery that we have operating at a very high level and make that something that our partners can take advantage of.
That's great. So I think there's a couple of things. So Libby and I work really closely together on this idea of revenue opportunity accelerators, and we're experimenting with that in marketing every day, even before the marketplace comes out. So how do we take the data we know about the partner's business, the customers they have, and the goals they set, and how do we identify and uncover these revenue opportunities? A lot of partners don't have people who can sort of sift through and reason over data, build machine learning models, and we have that capability. So that's one of the things we've been testing and learning. And I think the other piece we're really leaning into with our sales partners is making that connective tissue, so that as salespeople have these great conversations about the goals that a partner has, we want everything to coalesce and reflect that set of goals. So if you're on the grow your business and you're looking for customer acquisition, we want to be able to help with that and what go-to-market services and marketing capabilities we can give you. If you're on reduce risk or looking at security, for instance, how can we help you with better educational materials so that you can use tools and resources to help educate and then pave the way. And so we're looking for that, and we're coming at it with a beginner's mind and having a lot of great discussions with partners about what they need. But that's a space that we're really excited about. I think taking our brand and being in business in service of partners is what we want to do. So we're excited about the opportunity there.
In service of partners.
In service
I
of
love
partners, that's
that
great,
one.
yeah.
Okay, so I had a few moments yesterday where I had some chills, right? I feel like I had that even more so today. So a couple of maybe favorite moments. What comes to mind immediately outside of Libby? That she comes to mind pretty quick. Who else?
She does. I think standing room only this morning at 7 a.m. for a security breakfast. I mean, that's probably in our industry cool. Probably not a lot of people think that is, but that's pretty cool for us.
Oh, 7 a.m.?
I think that's great. The other thing I want to shout out for our partners and our vendors and the people that are attending here is we've raised over $20,000 for Everfree, our nonprofit partnership, through their bracelets, through merch, and it's really exciting.
We've got them.
Yeah, we got the bracelets. They're almost sold out, but just the way this community leans into being of service and taking on that mission of helping people who've been victims of traffic not only get to healthy places, but get resources and empowerment to live their best lives. And we love their mission, and Lyndsey Hoffman's brought them to us, but I think they feel the love from everyone today. So that was definitely a moment for me as well.
It's a hard topic, but it's so important. So I'm excited to talk to them in a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so something I'm excited about also is tonight we've got the Spasmatics, which I've seen multiple times when I was in Austin. They're great. They're an 80s band. I love some 80s. We have a special guest tonight that I'm super personally excited about, and been relearning the lyrics with some Spotify to make sure that I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So to keep with the 80s theme, I know Libby is a big REM fan. We're gonna have her up here in a little bit, and I'm gonna ask her what her favorite REM song is. So when you were driving to high school in rural Washington, what song were you bumping, pulling into the high school parking lot? Caroline Goles.
Well, Deepow, to keep it on the Office Space theme, Def Leppard and Bon Jovi.
Yes.
I celebrated their
Okay.
entire collection.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Now, the other thing I traded off with you
Slippery
and I,
When Wet and
yeah,
Hysteria,
old stuff,
all
old
that stuff.
school
Yeah,
as well.
okay.
Yeah. And also, David Powell and I have a joint discovered love of In Excess.
Yes.
So we're thinking about doing some choreography. You'll have to sign up for Beyond 2024 to see us on stage.
Next year, interpretive dance.
Little
dance.
In Excess interpretive dance from Caroline Goles and David Powell. We'll need a year to practice, but coming soon.
That's right. Good. And a little moment of silence for I sacrificed the speakers in my '88 Honda Accord at the Throne of Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys. So
Worth it.
it was worth it, though.
Worth it.
It was worth it. It was an adequate sacrifice for such an amazing song.
Proper.
And speaking of amazing, let me tell you, today on the main stage, Scott and Libby's stuff was straight amazing. The audience was raucous. They were yelling. They were cheering. It was what everyone wanted to hear. It was the buzz in the hallway afterwards. So let's take a look at what they had to talk about from the main stage today.
It is my honor and with great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. And I believe that this is one of the channel's best kept secrets. He would be famous, but because of his cybersecurity background, he is infamous.
If you're a cloud company in 2023 and you're not embracing AI in some fashion, either to lower your operating costs or improve or innovate your value proposition, you're going to be left behind. And if you think 10 years out, those companies that are succeeding, those are the ones that are embracing AI today. And the ones that do not will cease to exist. So for SMBs and really businesses of all sizes, AI is going to completely disrupt how knowledge workers do their jobs. And this is going to be a phenomenal growth period for everybody in this room. So Pax8's been evolving very quickly as of late. I think you guys have seen that. And we've really stepped up our product and engineering resources quite significantly. You see, we had to, because our hyper growth is simply a reflection of your growth. And it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. And I believe this to be true even through a downturn. Why? Because in 2023, the demand for cloud services and capabilities continues to skyrocket. And you can see here that Pax8's marketplace is indeed global, processing transactions 24 hours a day. And actually, we're doing a transaction a minute now. It's incredible. And again, this is not just Pax8's success. It's your success. We are a reflection of you. We do believe it's about the data. You see, if I were to show you what a marketplace looks like today, you'd probably recognize these. And even this one. Yep, that's Pax8's marketplace. But is it a marketplace? Where's the magic in that? And this is where the data part comes in. So, what if the marketplace was more about your customers and their life cycle of needs with a really cool visualization model that could help you grow your customers into what's next? A marketplace that could help you sell that future need. A marketplace that could configure, price, and quote across SaaS, service, and hardware. And a marketplace that gives each of your customers their own storefront for responding to those quotes, to ask for support, or even just to pay their bill.
When you look at the majority of cloud SaaS vendors today, rarely do they come downstream to provide capabilities to the SMB. Most of them don't really interface with managed service providers. So we looked at that and we thought, well, this is a really unique opportunity because we can build a platform that naturally extends to the SaaS vendor ecosystem where Pax8 can manage their entire direct motion to SMB. We can enable vendors to have a buy now button, right? Today they all have sales contact forms. We can provide subscription and billing just like we do with our managed service providers. And when a direct customer comes in and they buy that product directly from the vendor, we can take that customer and we can put it into a customer prospect marketplace.
We spent a lot of time over the last 2 years really listening and learning, hearing what you had to say about what you're struggling with and where you're having challenges. We've also spent a lot of time looking at what's happening in the competitive landscape around us. Big competitors, little competitors, new entrants into the space who are doing really innovative work. We looked at what they were solving, and we looked at what they weren't solving. One of the things that we heard a lot, a refrain globally from you, is that sometimes you struggle to balance the everyday needs of the business, supporting your customers, giving them advice and expertise, with needing to grow, with carving out the time to drive at opportunity, to do business development, and to nurture prospects. We know that we can help you solve this and a host of other problems. We know that our marketplace will become truly the heart of your business. So, how are we going to do this? Having spent so much time with our research and so much time thinking deeply about what we can do to help you, we know that the approach that's going to have the biggest impact both to your efficiency and to your growth is to be data insights driven. We're going to provide you a set of features that will guide you on a path to insights and make it easy to action opportunities to grow your business.
You just heard Libby on the main stage. We've transported her here. Libby, what do you do with us at Pax8?
I am the Senior Vice President of Product Management. I sit under our CTO, Scott Chasin. So I work with the engineers and the designers and the product people to get the products built.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah. So Libby, what you showed today was like awesome looking and obviously very functional. I know that in your role sometimes there's this like tension you got to manage between, okay, we want it to look beautiful and have that, you know, user engagement, but it also needs to be very functional, but it can't be so bad that only a guy that does command line, you know, loves the thing. So talk about when, you know, what you showed today looked amazing. So talk about how you kind of balance the usability plus the beauty of something.
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, I've been in product management for a long time, and I would say that the best UX designers are the ones who can both make something really beautiful, but make it incredibly functional. So we have a full user experience design group, and we have a UX research department, and they collaborate really closely together. And also our product managers are always looking at, you know, where customers are struggling, you know, where we can, it's so humiliating actually to watch sometimes users use your product. It's very humbling because you can see where they're really struggling. And so we take very seriously helping people really use the products that we have. But why put something out there that's not also beautiful and delightful? And we're so incredibly lucky to have an extraordinary team of designers and UX folks who can do both. And that's hard to find, than on the ground.
I can only imagine
Yes.
that process has got to be wild.
It is wild, but they were just really, really lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
It looked amazing, and I mean, the innovation that's coming. Can you just walk us through some of the key highlights? I mean, your presentation, I mean, I think we teed it up, was one of my favorites because watching how we're going to be innovating with the partners. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're so excited. We have spent a lot of time thinking about what we unveiled today and rolled out. And you know, so much of our thinking has been around how, to some extent, there's always room for improvement, but we've really, I think, helped our partners with efficiency, with consolidated billing, and so much help and support and learning materials. But I think one of the things that we haven't completely helped support them fully in yet is helping to grow. So much of our thinking was around how can we really innovate to help our partners really be able to make the time, make it efficient for them to use their time to help grow their business. So when we think about Opportunity Explorer, where folks can really have a look at what are the logical things that they can spend their time on that will really pay dividends to help them grow. We're really excited about that. And of course, data visualization is so important because being data-led is absolutely critical to making those efficient decisions and knowing where to spend your time. So I think we're really excited about that. For Solution Center, so much of that is sort of what David was talking about earlier, which is making it simple, straightforward, and easy to do complex tasks. And right now, pulling together solutions, it can be a bit of a bear. I mean, it can be a beast.
It's a lot. There's a lot going
on.
Okay,
there's
that's
a lot
fair.
going on. And so making sure that that's straightforward and easy, I think is something that we were really excited to help create some delightful experiences around. And then, publishing into a customer storefront, making a space where our partners can own it, brand it, customize it, configure it, really make it what they want it to be and make it work for their business, I think is so exciting.
So, Puff Daddy said that it's all about the Benjamins, baby,
yes,
right?
yes.
But you were on stage today, and as a paraphrase, you were basically, it's all about the data, baby, right? And so I think that data is great, but it can be overwhelming. And our partners have all this siloed data. And so I love that you were talking about, like, hey, let Pax8 help you make your data meaningful for you. So kind of talk about that idea that what we can, the talent around data visualization stuff is kind of scarce. We're fortunate to have it, but the idea that we can democratize that talent and give our partners actionable insight from their own data. Talk a little bit about that, because I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, as somebody who is very data driven, I love data and I love a spreadsheet. Like my whole life is run by spreadsheets, personal and professional. And so, I really have a strong feeling of how.
Hey kids, here's a pivot table for your day. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Pivot tables. Actually, I do love a good pivot table. But, it can be so hard and overwhelming, I think, sometimes to just look at numbers or look at data and think, God, I don't even know how to navigate myself around what questions to ask or how to really extract something valuable from what can be a lot. And we're lucky enough, several of our designers had worked at previous places that really were focused on data visualization.
Oh, that's cool.
And so we were incredibly fortunate to have, folks who really know how to nail making all that stuff really understandable, making it easier to grok kind of what you're looking at and how to orient yourself around it. And so that has been really incredible for us to be able to leverage that talent to make it really beautiful and understandable. Because I do have those, you have those moments where you think, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even know how to orient myself around how to deal with this. So we take it really seriously, and I do think it can be really helpful. There's a lot of tools out there. You can make a chart, make a this, use a business intelligence tool, but you have to make it yourself, you know. And so sometimes it can be really helpful for someone to just help you orient around kind of what to look at and how to focus your time.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So when Chasin was opening, we heard AI a lot. I think by the end of it, he was like, I think I've said it 17, 13 times, however many it was. Yeah. But AI's really going into this. So can you tell us a little bit how we're going to be using it?
Yeah. This is, as Scott mentioned, by the way, we were all like joking that we would have bingo cards to fill out for the number of times someone said AI.
Yes, yes. The number continues to rise, so you can tell which side I was on. I'm just going to keep adding to it.
I really appreciate that. So it's really evolving very quickly right now, and it's a lot to kind of stay on top of. So one thing that we're doing is helping to form working groups and folks on our teams that can really focus on how to leverage it meaningfully. I think there's so much excitement around it. Sometimes, I was here for I'm old enough for the first .com boom, and I remember everyone was like, oh, I need a website. And it took people a while to orient around how to get value out of it.
Sure.
And so what we want to make sure that we're doing is leveraging AI to really build value for our partners and for our vendors. And so we're definitely giving it a lot of deep thought. I think a lot of the pieces that you'll see under the Opportunity Explorer and under product recommendations will be powered by AI for sure. And frankly, some of the data cleanliness, making sure that data is kind of has hygiene around it and clean. We think that we see some opportunities to use AI in that space as well.
That's I've always thought it's interesting, when the iPhone came out, the actual monetization model was all the apps that sit on top. That was just a platform really for all this other stuff. And really, that's all AI is, right? It's this, the large language model gives you all these other applications, and I think it's really cool how we were going to use some of that to return value back to the partners.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Incredible. Libby, thank you so much for the time.
We have a very important question for Libby. So
I'm
Libby,
so sorry.
We've had this whole theme of like 80s music we've talked about. I know that you and I, yes, it's Spasmatics tonight, share a love for a little band from Athens, Georgia.
We do.
REM.
Yes.
So what's your favorite REM song?
Well, I mean, it's so hard to choose, right?
Okay. Yes.
I mean, that's
they're all very good.
Choosing among your children. But I think my favorite is probably Driver 8.
Okay, so there's a line in that song that, have you ever noticed when you get on the interstates and you see like—
Are you talking about power lines having floaters so
the power lines have—
get smashed?
Oh, yes! The power lines have floaters so the airplanes don't get crashed. It is awesome. So yeah, that is straight fire that you knew that. So thank you very much. It made my heart like warm and fuzzy to have you know that line in advance. So now back to you, Kristen.
My gosh. If I'm the only one left on the show, they've left together. Libby, thank you so much for your time. Another amazing keynote we heard from was Jim Lee. Let's take a look.
I'm going to tell you a story. It's been about 4 years ago, but we've advanced a lot. I was in a lab, I can't say where, did a lot with government, but there was a robot running, human looking. And the guy said, do whatever you want, he's learning. So I tried to knock him off. Guess what it did? It looked at me and it literally looked at me. He said he just learned how to adapt to being pushed. So when I say reinvent every industry, it's going to reinvent every industry, from supply chain, manufacturing, how companies go to market, but it's understanding what it can do to help in the industry to transform. The question I have for you, are you ready? Some of you are hearing everything you heard today, probably not where you need to be, but you're going to get there. And there's a few things that we all need to do to be ready for this moment. Elevate the conversation. It's about being the best on the field in front of the customer with the most advanced technologies that you've been hearing about today and the most advanced technologies in the world. You need to be an elite team to think beyond the one deal, but help the customer think about the future. Transform customers with clarity. Did you know that 50% of customers out there do not even have enough of their data estate to leverage the power of AI right now to the full extent, that's amazing opportunity for you. And there's power in clarity. Show them from Horizon 1 to Horizon 3, from lift and shift to modernization to co-innovation. Maybe you partner to partner if you're really good at lift and shift and you've got another partner that's really good with co-innovation. Build digital twins to show the customer the future. Small companies to large companies.
All right, we just saw the main stage keynote. Want to make sure we do some introductions. Jim, let's start with you.
Jim Lee, Vice President of our U.S. Partner Solutions Sales at Microsoft. Excited to be here.
Excellent.
Really
Thank
excited.
you for your time.
Yeah.
Matt.
I'm the Global GTM Solutions Director for Microsoft Business Applications at Pax8.
Excellent, excellent. So we just saw just a tiny snippet. We can't give too much away, but an amazing keynote today. So what were just some of the main takeaways that you were giving to our partners here live?
Well, I think some of the main takeaways are just more education on AI, how we're going to bring AI to market with Copilot, not to be afraid to embrace change.
Sure.
Which is critical, because I did make a comment that you either embrace change or can be irrelevant in the market.
You've got to get ahead.
You got to get ahead, and so we're trying to help our partners get there.
Amazing.
As we keep pace with technology.
Awesome.
Good stuff, good stuff. And obviously Microsoft and Pax8, we've been partners for a while now.
I've been.
Be great just to tell the audience a little bit about the evolution of that partnership.
Well, I mean, I think the evolution is just from, just helping support the MSPs to now being a marketplace for the MSPs, which is a total game changer for the MSPs to be able to go in and craft your own marketplace and products and solutions, leveraging the ISVs and the services that they want to provide and connect the customers. That's huge. That's huge, because I think that that's going to also reduce the cost of sale. And what I know about MSPs, everybody likes profitability, right? And so,
crazy, right?
Interesting concept. But I think this is going to help not only push the envelope on technology that we can help bring to market with Pax8, what's available in marketplace, but also how the solutions the partners feel comfortable with align to that. Now, today I talked a little bit about the Horizon 3 approach, which is lift and shift, optimization and modernization, and then co-innovation of the cloud. Each partner's in different areas of what they can do. Some can do all three.
Awesome.
And so we're here to help.
Amazing. So when did Pax8 first hit your radar? Like, when did those lights start going off originally? Because, I mean, all of a sudden we started growing up pretty quick. So when did Pax8 kind of hit your radar?
And it's been an evolution, but once you start crossing $1 billion, it gets a lot of attention. So that's just
when the M turns to the B. Okay,
but it's also the innovation of what John has done with the organization over the years, and just how fast the company's grown. Like, think of where you were 5 years ago and where you are today. I mean, I think that's just imagine 5 years from now.
We all get really excited and kind of get those jitters when you start thinking about just how quickly.
You saw the energy in the room today. I mean, it's just like, if you get that momentum and the flywheel going between our MSPs and the SMB customers and I mean, I just think that is going to help create a momentum that we haven't seen along with all this advanced technology. We got to seize the buzz that's in the market right now.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, and speaking of the buzz in the market right now, there's a small event coming up called Inspire.
Just
a small event, and I know you can't share probably too much, but what can we expect from Inspire, and what can the partners expect?
Well, I mean, I think it's just more some of what you heard today. I think you're going to hear more of that coming out of Inspire, and then just the ask as we build out these advanced solutions, the responsibility we have to do it, leveraging some of the core principles that I talked about with AI, and the foundation of that with governance and tools and training and all of the things that we need to help enable our partners to take to the next level.
Absolutely. Cybersecurity.
Yes.
So that main pillar, we're really hitting on it here. I mean, we've got the security persona. It's huge. It's everywhere. So you talked a little bit about that today. So where is Microsoft going? Is Microsoft a security vendor?
We have everything from a security standpoint built into our products. We also have a threat protection team as well as a response team. And I think that spectrum that we're playing right now is now shining a light because of the AI components. And when we build AI into all of our products, having that foundation be secure.
Excellent.
Because customers have to trust us. And over the next few years, we're going to spend $20 billion
with a B.
With a B.
Okay.
Just in security, in the foundation of that, and to help advance not only our platforms, but just the advancement we're going to have in the marketplace with security. And so when you look at the size of Microsoft versus some of the niche vendors out there, we all need to work together, because at the end of the day, it's about protecting the ecosystem. But I will tell you, when you have fragmented solutions all over the place, it can make customers insecure because it's not all aggregated. And that's what we do with our platform. We aggregate everything.
Excellent.
You've led on to my last question, because you just talked around all these different solutions aggregated, and
You're going to do it, aren't you?
I'm going to do it. You invite me on.
You're on mute. You're on mute. No, I'm serious.
Oh.
Why did I
Sorry, I
look?
didn't throw you off.
Why did I look? I was about to say, in true Pax8 fashion, I'm going to be disruptive, but
Okay.
you've been disruptive. But I always have to ask a question about Dynamics. So I got to ask, what's your favorite thing about Dynamics 365?
It's interesting. So it's a passion of mine, because I know that companies have bought, I talk about point solutions, right? I've bought a lot of different point solutions out there. And what I love about Dynamics is the omni-channel capability we have to disrupt, right, a customer a little bit, agitate a little bit about how they can pull that all together to better serve their end customers. But it's not a total reboot of all the investments that they've made. And it's so hard entry to bear because of that investment up front, where the omni-channel helps us connect it all and try to show customers how you can leverage your existing investment in those products.
Good stuff.
So.
Good stuff. I'm gonna use that clip now on my socials. So thank you.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
You know, we've got the entire Microsoft team in. We've got our PDMs. We've got people who really specialize in stuff. I am so thankful for everybody's time. Thank you for being here. An amazing keynote. Hopefully we get to see you again soon.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you get a public service announcement over with Pax8 Academy.
I'm so excited to help represent Pax8 Academy at Beyond. We've created some amazing curated experiences designed to meet you where you are with exactly what you need to grow your business. But the learning doesn't stop here. Academy has your customized journey waiting for you at academy.pax8.com, where we match your next education opportunity to who you are and the specific challenges that are keeping you from getting past your next business plateau. Whether it's our free on-demand courses and resources ranging from business planning to sales training to soft skills, our brilliant instructor-led courses that cover everything from security policy to setting up your contracts and agreements, impactful and supportive community through our peer groups, or the tailored guidance from our expert coaches, we've got exactly the next step you're looking for. So don't lose your momentum that you gained at Beyond. Engage with Academy and see how far our enablement can take you. We'll see you next year at Beyond.
So you just heard from Kristen talking about how important our Academy is, and we're happy to be joined with Rex Frank from Academy. Rex, tell us a little bit of what you do and what Academy does.
Well, before we get into that, there's a lot of lights in here, and I'm kind of nervous about, am I having a bad glare day?
Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I think they got it all under control. A bad glare day. Yes.
So my name's Rex Frank, VP of Academy, and came on with the C-level acquisition about 2 years ago. And we've been kind of head down that first year building Pax8 Academy, and the last year we've just been stuffing it full of content, and we've been having the best time. There's 31 people helping educate partners right now.
That's crazy. That's a lot of
Gosh,
folks.
your team has been so involved in Beyond. So there's been so many different sessions. Your team is all over the place. It's incredible. And I think it's just a testament to how seriously Pax8 takes enablement for the partners. Tell me why that's so important.
Yeah, we've been hearing Rob Ray and Jen Bodell talk about how Beyond is going to be a different conference, right? And I said, we need to not be pitching products in these sessions. We need to be talking about how our partners can grow, mature their businesses, and really leverage these tools into the way they do business so they can improve their margins. And I think that's the buzz I'm hearing, that we're pulling it off. And I am so proud of all the Pax8 Academy people that spent the last 3 months putting this content together.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
And I think a lot of people would say, okay, Beyond was great. What do I do when I go back? And I think obviously the answer is to go peruse Academy, because there's so much good stuff. I've been here just since April, so just a couple of months. And I know I went and checked out Academy, and the amount of content you guys have out there is amazing. I mean, there's a ton. But I think sometimes you might get a little overwhelmed. Like, where should somebody start if they're just coming out of Beyond and getting into Academy?
Well, first of all, that content isn't something that was just developed in the last year or two. That content, we started working on it 13 years ago with C-level, and we brought all of that to the acquisition, right? And the fun part is, when I had C-level, it was all, my team heard me say In-N-Out Burger over and over and over, right? There's no fish, there's no chicken, there's no salads. We're focused on one-on-one coaching. And we got to Pax8, and Craig Donovan says, I love what you guys are doing, but we have 13,000 active partners. And
which is almost 30.
Right.
Now.
I think
Right?
at the time it was about 25,000 signed partners. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all they're from the one person, the solopreneur, all the way up to the 200 or 300 employees, right? And he says we need to meet every partner where they are, which is one of the kind of 4 maturity levels, with what they want to learn, which we kind of define out as we've got like 92 vendors on the line card now, that we need to help them understand what is that vendor about, why would you choose it, and how would you integrate it into the way you do business. But it's also, there's the technicians that we need to enable, right? I want the technicians to be able to sign in and understand these vendor products and be able to support them in their environments. But there's also that grow and mature your business content, right? So meet them where they are with what they want to learn in the way they want to learn. So while C-Level was just one-on-one coaching, Pax8 Academy we use the gym membership analogy, right? Mm-hmm. It's on-demand content. Just come in and use it. You're not interacting with a resource from Academy. And that's why we've been able to make that free. And we've just been focusing on building that content and getting that in there. But we've got the instructor-led courses, right? That's like taking the spin class or the yoga class. You got that one-on-one, one-to-many, but still you can have that one-on-one contact with the instructor. And we've got the peer groups, right, where the partners are working to hold each other accountable every month on what's important to them and what they're working on in their business. And we've got the personal trainer, the one-on-one coaching. So,
do you have something kind of like Jazzercise out there for partners?
We do. Check out pax8.com/academy and find
Rex doing Jazzercise.
I remember leg warmers, the whole bit. You can go
absolutely
all in on that.
But the goal is to get all that content in all 4 learning methods, no matter which one you want to use. And that's what the team's been head down working on.
And because it's really targeted like that, I think that's great for MSPs. If they know, hey man, I'm kind of struggling with this thing or whatever, they can go in and get very pointed content just for what it is that they're trying to improve.
Yeah, so if you're in the platform, I am loving what I saw today, because Academy is going to be integrated through the entire marketplace. But as of now, it's behind the question mark campaign that I've been on for 2 years. So if you're in the platform, go to the question mark, click on learning resources, and you're going to find Pax8 Academy. And in there, like you said, I think we have about 200 courses, or approaching 200 courses, about 600 different pieces of content in there. And it's all organized by our 3 value drivers, right? Increase or grow revenue, increase efficiency, reduce risk. It's organized by the role in the company. It's organized, like if I'm a service manager or a dispatcher or a project manager, I could find content tailored to me. It's also organized by sort of the category in the business. So there's all these different ways we've organized it to help you find that content.
Sure. Now, there's all this content, right? And you guys put together so much stuff for this event. But what happens post-Beyond or beyond for Academy?
So I've shared this story a couple times, but I remember being the service executive, and the owner would send me to an event, and I used to kind of stress out on the way back, because I knew he was going to ask me, what are you going to do different?
Sure.
Because I sent you to that event. And I'd be on a plane or driving, trying to figure out what am I going to say. And fast forward 20 years or so, he's actually at my daughter's wedding. And somehow the topic that I had anxiety over that came up. And he said, let me tell you a secret. I never really cared, maybe different words, what you said. I just needed to know that you knew what it was, right? So, and that's what has sort of inspired me, that all of our presentations, the last slide is, what are you going to do differently tomorrow after being at this event? And as I've been walking around, that's the question I'm asking everybody. And it's kind of interesting, very few of them actually know the answer, but when you ask them, they come up with that. What was the nugget that said, I'm going to do something different. And when I hear him say that, like I get goosebumps. It just charges me
like
up.
it's working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so something very, very important now. We've heard from Caroline Goles that when she drove into high school, she was listening to either Def Leppard or Bon Jovi. I confess that I blew out my speakers and my cord listening to Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys. What did Rex Frank listen to back in the day?
Well, first of all, if you're watching Academy live every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Mountain, there's a segment in there about me restoring my 66 Mustang that I drove in high school.
Ah, very good.
And I do think I need new speakers. But for the Los Angeles area listeners, it was KNAC, which is the heavy metal, right? So it was all Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Metallica.
All the hair bands.
Yes.
And did you have hair back then to go with the hair bands?
I did used to be able to reach back and grab my hair.
That's awesome.
Oh
I would
my
love
gosh.
some, if you can uncover some of those pictures, I would love to see
At
you
least
with
one of those, right?
the
I think
full
we need one.
perm hair down to the middle
I
of the
think
back.
our producer is going to make sure she finds some of those.
Sounds awesome.
So real quick, you kind of touched on a show that you do every single week. What do you guys cover?
Well, the first couple of shows, we've been at it about 2 months now, have really been what is Pax8 Academy. We're going to do a little bit next week covering kind of some Beyond recap. But then I'm really looking forward to getting into the same kind of content we had in 23 sessions here at Beyond, which is the reality, right? The coaches are in the trenches, sometimes 20 or 30 partners every week that they're talking to every week in the trenches, helping them through their real businesses. Those issues that they're facing, that's what we're going to be talking about, is what those solutions are.
Awesome, awesome. All right, as always, it's great to see you. So thankful for you to be here. Let's go ahead and see what happened in our security labs.
I would describe Beyond as 3 years of pent-up energy. A lot of folks remember we tried to do the Swingman 2020 thing, and then COVID got in the way. And I think in a way it's been a great thing. We've really scaled and we've built an incredible event. I think 1,800 of our best friends are coming here to learn from us, to network with each other. And we really focused on education building this event from the start. So when we look at the breakout tracks that we've built for everyone, the security lab, which is frankly really nerdy and in-depth and really is going to let people experience an incident, really taking it to the next level in cybersecurity, but also in business operations and just how to be a better, more effective partner and scale your business.
You know, 2 years ago, one of the first real security conferences for the MSP kind of kicked off with Right a Boom with Andrew Morgan. And a year later, they came back and knocked it out of the park again. In fact, single-handedly changing, I think, the way conferences work around educating for cybersecurity.
We went to a Right a Boom conference, which Andrew Morgan put on. And after attending that conference and seeing the response they got from the community, we made a call 3-4 months ago, which was too late to make that call, but we did it anyways and said, Andrew, come build a track, come show up, we need this. And he did.
You're seeing tabletops and deep immersion and actually working a day in the life to understand it and putting your hands on it kinesthetically. And so we've brought that here, right? We got in and made a hard pivot and said, the market's demanding this, the security is the thing we need to talk about. Yes, we need to sell, yes, we need to make money, but we also need to protect ourselves. And so you're seeing that play out where we have an entire track and we're actually setting up something I've never seen where not only are we playing a game that teaches, we're doing it where you can then step and pivot out of this theoretical world into the actual technology you're going to be using, into the actual environment to find the threats, to find something and see, even if it's not perfect, even if it's simulative, it lets you know what the world is actually about. And I think that's what we need, is that transformative learning that people understand, oh, that's the aha moment. And I think that's what this will be. This 4 hours will be a giant collective aha moment for so very many MSPs that are in there.
I wanted to bring in the who's who. We brought in yesterday John Strand and some of his team, and we had a 4-hour security lab. What was really cool is we had CrowdStrike, when we got to the EDR section, allowed every attendee to get into what's called their encounters lab. So we actually, all the attendees had hands-on with CrowdStrike Falcon. So, you know, huge kudos to Pax8 and for forming the relationship with CrowdStrike. So we had Brandon Andrews and his engineers come in. They were there supporting the effort. So that was day one. And then this morning, my good friend Rob Ray has a joking way of keeping me on my toes. I said, so we got the incident response session panel. Where's that going to be? When's it going to be? He goes, oh, 7 a.m. I'm like, oh, really? I said, who's showing up, Rob? Interestingly enough, your community, Pax8, is incredible. We had standing room only. It was absolutely, I was blown away. The panel was the Director of Incident Response from CrowdStrike, Clark Harshbarger. Matt Lee was on it, giving perspective, which is great because Matt, as a former MSP owner, gave the perspective of what he's been through in incidences, but now actually on the Pax8 side, seeing it also through thousands of MSPs. We had Carl Bickmore, he's an actual CEO of an MSP, and then we had Mackenzie Brown, who formerly was with Microsoft, their detection and response team, and is now VP of cybersecurity for Blackpoint. So we got all these different perspectives on what it's like to live through an incident, what are the proper means. We call left of boom, preparing for incidents. So that's everything about your protective and detective controls in place, and then when boom happens, you hopefully have a good IR plan that's been tabletop and practiced and gone through, and then what it's like with all the implications, having your cyber insurance in place, legal in place, being able to execute properly, and then what's the aftermath? What are the lessons learned, right? Respond and recover afterwards.
A lot of people would say cybersecurity is kind of shifting under our feet. Counter that with it's always shifting under our feet. It's just happening much faster now. So being able to get these sessions out in a broader context than what's happening today. It's about what's happening today and how do we deal with what's going to happen tomorrow. So the security lab is huge. Come to an understanding that we can't stop all threats. That's not a reality in the cybersecurity world. So we're really in the security lab taking an in-depth look at what happens once we have an incident and how do we react to that and handle it and actually follow through with an incident response plan, right? I think they say the best laid plans are great until you get punched in the face and you just got to figure things out, right? So we're really hoping to put that experience in people's hands, let them feel it, let them experience it, but also just general security education, right? We have sessions happening on security culture, the CIS controls, risk management, how to handle risk, really broad topics that I think really go a long way in helping our partners develop true security practitioners instead of someone that installs a tool and calls it a day.
All right, we have an amazing cause. You heard about it a little bit from Caroline. I want to introduce you to two amazing women. Lyndsey, introduce yourself. What do you do here at Pax8?
Hey y'all, my name is Lyndsey Hoffman.
I like the y'all, yes ma'am.
Welcome back to Texas, gotta bring the South back in. I'm the Vice President of Social Impact here at Pax8.
Excellent, excellent.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Morgan. I am the co-founder and Chief Program Officer of Everfree.
Everfree, okay. We've hit on it a little bit. We've got these incredible bracelets. We're raising so much money for such an amazing cause. Yeah. They've done a lot of, we talked about the Spasmatics and the 80s songs and all that. I'm more of a Taylor Swift girl, my friendship bracelets, so I was very excited to get my bracelet. We're here for it. Tell me a little bit about Everfree. What is this cause going to?
Yeah, so we are an organization that's working to end human trafficking. 50 million people are living in exploitation and situations of modern day slavery at any given moment in time. It's an overwhelming issue, $150 billion industry, and Everfree is looking to disrupt that industry, working to end trafficking and provide survivors of this atrocious crime the support and the empowerment that they need to heal and rebuild their lives.
It's such a heavy topic. I just have chills just thinking about this because the amazing trip that you guys went on, we're going to talk about that in just a second, but how did we find Kelsey? Because we found you together, and I think this is a good moment for all three of us to come back together.
Yeah, we did, and oddly enough, I bought my Everfree bracelet almost a year ago to this month, and so we met Kelsey at a Women of the Channel event and quickly identified the shared mission, shared values, and global expansion. And so I think, very early on in that stage of conversation, we realized that we can really impact something that technology is helping scale in a negative way. How do we now offset that with solutions together and come together in the Pax8 form and fashion of true disruption?
Amazing, amazing. We have a short clip. I want to make sure that we roll that because Everfree is doing some awesome things with Pax8.
So Everfree is a nonprofit that's focused on supporting human trafficking survivors. I learned about Everfree at a Women of the Channel event, and very early on I understood, that Everfree's mission and their values were very aligned to Pax8 and our values, as well as they're globally expanding in the same way that we're globally expanding here at Pax8. I was expecting everything that I didn't see going into this trip. I think I had this aspect of, feeling as if these women needed to be saved, that there was going to be so much hardship, and not necessarily that it wasn't going to be tough, but that toughness was going to be a different lens than what I actually experienced. I've got to feel and see what hope really looks like. That's really all they have left, is that layer of hope, to be able to bring them together and to fight for an issue together as a community, and to know that they're not alone. There was this sense of connectivity. There were groups that were, trying to get TikTok dances down together as a group. There were groups that, ran into children that had the availability to play in the streets with these kids. And again, I think uniquely we all had the experience that we needed to have that moment in time, but also uniquely the one that met us where we were in this experience. And I think universally we all left with this knowing that we're all connected and that we all have this ability to, again, step out of our comfort zones and see a little bit of ourselves in these other communities, and how do we take that little bit of privilege to be able to give someone else the platform, or put an arm out to just say, hi, I am so-and-so, and it's great to meet you.
Yeah, ladies!
And this, again, being able to meet people where they are and to find a sense of shared humanity. I think our shared values between Pax8 and Everfree is that we're really about taking on and disrupting the market where others may not be brave enough to take on challenging issues that aren't the easy things to talk about. In Pax8, our full culture has always been to be a disruptor and to take on the things that others don't have the same bravery or the know-how or the platform and the privilege to be able to support those types of issues.
If that doesn't just get you in the feels, I don't know what does. The trip. There was a big trip, a big partnership. So you reached out and wanted some of our Pax8 employees to go. So how did that all work out?
It was incredible. We were just saying, Lyndsey just brought this to Pax8 and things moved very quickly. A year after we met, there was a team of 6 Pax8ers on the ground in Cebu, Philippines, including 2 of your staff who live in the Philippines, hands-on volunteering, supporting survivors of human trafficking, doing outreach with survivors of human trafficking. It was powerful, and we saw how aligned our 2 companies, our 2 organizations are. We want to expand and scale work and do work that people aren't willing to do. We want to go to the hard places, and that was such an incredible takeaway for me, was just the opportunity to be aligned with such an incredible company working to do good in the world.
Yeah. The fact that Pax8 stood up with you and Everfree to say, we want to do the hard work too, or here, and how do we get involved? How was the experience? Because I can't quite imagine.
Yeah, it's life-changing, and I think we're just getting started in this space. This event was our inaugural event, but also to kick off this partnership and to bring Everfree into our ecosystem for all Pax8ers, for our vendors, for our partners, to continue to grow, but to also impact something that is a huge global issue. It's not just here in the US, it's not just the work in Cebu. Everfree is scaling global programs, and we're also in the process of helping them with this new application called the Freedom Greenlight, which is going to, again, next level, survivor-led and developed in the same form and fashion that we, and you heard from Libby, we develop and build our products for our partners and for the community in that ecosystem. That same shared mission and values and culture now has the ability to translate into impacting global issues like human trafficking.
I know this is going to be a long partnership, and I am so excited that I got to run up to you at Women of the Channel. I told you I had a friend. I'm glad this has worked out. I look forward to a long partnership. Thank you for being here and bringing this to us. We are not the only ones celebrating in Denver. We also have some basketball. Let's roll this clip.
What a double-edged sword. I would have loved to have gone to the game tonight, especially if they win. This is the first time they're in the playoffs, and they're probably going to win. So I would have loved to have been there shouting courtside, but I couldn't think of a better thing than celebrating it with all of our partners here tonight together. So it's going to be amazing. Go Nuggets.
Congratulations, Nuggets!
Congratulations, Nuggets.
Yeah, look, congratulations from the Welshman. We've seen so many things like trophies come and we get so close and we fail, and you took us, we held our breath right at the very end. But you did it, guys. Go Nuggets, congratulations, so proud of you. And we were here in Denver at the time. We saw the fireworks, we shared the moment, and I'll be able to say, I was there.
Absolutely. Great evening. Tight game. Well done, guys. Congratulations to all of you.
Welcome back. That was really awesome watching all the Denver fans go insane last night in the hotel with the victory there. We're joined now with John Street. And John, we've been asking everybody, because we got the Spasmatics tonight, great 80s band. We've been talking about music. Caroline Goles apparently was a Def Leppard and Bon Jovi fan. I confess that I blew out my speakers to Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys. What did John Street blow out his speakers in his car listening to?
It's easy. It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
I can remember. I think
I see a little silhouette of him.
Yeah. I had a friend who had an orange Jeep, and that was about the time Bohemian Rhapsody came out. So yeah.
Got it.
I think of the Wayne's World thing where they're in the back.
Oh yeah.
Of the car doing this.
And was that reflective of y'all's experience in the Jeep?
It really was. It really was.
That's awesome. So that's Queen is always a strong choice.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong
right?
with Queen.
That's right.
What an event.
Yeah.
It has been a couple of years in the making. What are your initial thoughts?
My baby's all grown up. It's great. I'm so proud of the team and what they've done, and it is an amazing event, and it's a reflection of how good we are. We're doing great, and I want to give a shout out to everybody. I'm so proud of what everybody's done here. The level of professionalism is next level, and we're ready to keep going with this, and as good as it's been, I know we can do it better, so I'm looking forward to next year.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was joking with Nick that, he was saying that if this hadn't gone well, or whatever, he was going to have to do a little ready for work thing on his LinkedIn profile, and he was joking.
I did give him an especially hard time about this because, this was a big risk we took, and it's paid off, and it's kind of indicative of the way we do things around here, so I'm very proud.
Literally just before we came on set, I was talking to a partner in the hall. He goes, I cannot believe this is the first time y'all have done this. He goes, this is just tremendous.
We have a lot of smart people around here, and this has been great.
Yeah.
Amazing. We definitely always go big. We've expanded. We're a global company.
Yep.
How do you see the future expansion going?
Well, we're off to a good start. We still have some important work to do to globalize a lot of the process. A lot of the backside, the underlying platform needs some continuous globalization. We get all that right, we're stepping into these markets in a good way. And I have a particular affinity to the ASEAN nations because I was in the Peace Corps. in the Philippines years ago. And I know that part of the world is booming, and there's lots of small business and lots of population. So I'm curious to see how we do in that region.
Amazing.
And if we do that right, you think a decade out, and with all the things going on in the world, Africa's a place that we can really go. And I think a lot of the problems in the world around software have been around piracy, but the cloud sort of solves that problem.
It does.
So we can see a lot of economic opportunity even in less developed markets.
Amazing. Amazing. I know you've got a keynote. We're going to get you to it. Everybody.
They got me interviewing Peyton Manning, so I got to think of something clever to say.
So Peyton. All right. We got to go to Peyton.
Shouldn't I ask him, so you're like one of the best
sports ball players?
Best quarterbacks ever in the NFL. So what's it like to be maybe not even the best quarterback in your own family?
Oh, I look forward to that.
John, I got $20 if you'll tell me that David Powell said "Roll Tide," because as an Alabama guy, and he's a big Tennessee guy.
I mean, his handlers might get mad.
They might
maybe
a little
so.
bit.
Maybe so. But
John,
we appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
this is an
thanks for
awesome
having me.
event.
Yep.
And the message I think to everybody is, if you weren't here this year, make sure you sign up for next year.
Don't miss it.
I think we've already had a whole bunch of people already do it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over 200?
Over 200 people
Yep.
have already signed up for next year. So make sure you're one of those. Look forward to seeing you next year, and thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Welcome to day 2 of Beyond. We are super excited for today. This is where we show you the future. You guys want to see the future?
This is the marketplace of the future that Pax8 is building. And at its core, it's about you, your customers, and their needs. It's a data-driven, customer-centric marketplace.
Mostly what we were doing was thinking about how to bring value to you, how to solve problems you're up against every day.
So I've been in the MSP space for more than 20 years, and I believe that this is one of the most transformational moments I have ever been a part of.
Thank you to my studios team led by Barry Hawkins and Nick Yardley.